Hi everyone, my name's Nathan Eckel. I am with LifeTree Group at LifeTree.tv, and I'm going to be talking to you about avoiding death by bullet point and using visual design to set up a rapid storyline anytime that you are proposing or have to create your own webinar or series of PowerPoint presentations. If you've read the book, excellent book, Beyond Bullet Points by Cliff Atkinson, I'm going to summarize many of his ideas, and I'm going to incorporate my rapid personal system that I used without going quite as in depth as he does, although I certainly recommend that you read his book. I'm going to share with you the way that I have been able to adapt much of that very quickly. So here's what I'm doing. First thing you need to do in any presentation that you do is create a content outline, and I'm going to be talking about something called, it's a fancy word called andragogy, which basically means how to teach adults, or better yet, it really means how to teach people to learn for themselves by setting up self-directed learning techniques. Andragogy is the fancy word. So I'm going to be teaching this at a university for other faculty, many of whom do not use andragogy techniques, or they may just a little bit. I'm going to tell them how online teaching really forces you to use these techniques of andragogy. So anyway, this is my content outline. You don't have to really read that, but it's important to, kind of bullet point and rapidly churn out your main ideas. But here's where the visual design comes in. I call it an introductory script. And in Atkinson's book, he talks about how to rapidly set up a kind of a drama visually through visual elements that is going to emotionally capture your audience, so that when you get to the nitty-gritty of your talk, it moves and it helps you remember it, and it just engages people. Now, and I have someone talking to me and calling me right now. I'll be right back. And I am back. So here's what I do for this introductory script. I set it up like a movie, as Atkinson talks about in his book. This is the intro that I have. So academic trends are shifting today. There's an online revolution. It changes things. There's a twist. Not all the changes are bad. Technology actually opens up new ways to connect. Okay, so it facilitates connections. LaSalle, the Saint LaSalle of education, would have loved to see this. So that's my premise. Now, the next thing that we need to do is, I said this is visual design. Nothing about this is visual yet, but you go into Microsoft Clip Art and you get a whole bunch of photos that illustrate each numbered point of the outline that we just talked about. So do you see that? So I have a couple of little comments here. Add one photo per number, meaning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, this is my rapid way of doing it. I do a clip art search, and then it helps if you really stick with one metaphor. You see that it's mainly sand and seashore and that sort of thing. There's a little bit of color and a little bit of not necessarily seashore, but I blend it in pretty well. If you have one thing as a gear shift and another thing as a hospital scene and another thing as a sandbox, it may or may not flow together all that well. So now this is what you want to do, is separate each one of these items into a separate slide. So academic trends are shifting. The online revolution changes the nature of our learning, etc., etc. So I've separated all of those, and then what you want to do is add the photo that goes with each with each one of these slides. Okay, and I've ordered it back on this sheet, this slide, so that it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. I've made a little bit of an order so that it's not jumbled. So that's important. The last thing that you need to do, as I have 10 seconds left, is you need to stretch to make it full size, and then they look really sweet. So all you do is you stretch just like this, and then you just tuck it back behind.